I want to debunk the myth that eating and living plant forward is expensive. Now, it can be if you stock up on all the processed foods and the junk foods and things of that nature. But if you stick with the one rule, if it's not from the ground, put it down, you Gucci. Welcome to the ABCs of Plant Forward Living, where living green is easy and it's oh so delicious. I'm Angela Yvonne, and I am here to let you know that living plant forward is a life full of abundance. So I created this series so you can know and have a guide in order for you to be able to transition effortlessly, easy, and on your own terms. If you haven't seen my other video, A is for awareness and abundance, click it. It's somewhere in this video where you can click it, or you can just go to my channel and you can see the first letter, because we're going to do all the alphabet. So at the end, you know how lit it really is over here on the green side. So today it's all about the letter B, balanced plates and budget friendly. Creativity is the name of the game whenever you are crossing over to the green side, plant forward living, veganism, plant-based, whatever the title that you're wanting to call yourself is cool. But I want to debunk the myth that it is expensive. Now, when you first cross over, you will most likely start eating a lot of the faux meats, like the faux hot dogs, the faux chicken, the faux beef, things of that nature. What you need to understand that processed is still processed. So, processed, anything that needed someone else to make or contribute to, is going to cost you some coins. Like for instance, you may crave for a burger, and because you are new to crossing over, you will look for the Beyond Meats and you will look for the Impossible Burgers. But I went to Whole Foods today and I saw how much the Beyond Burger cost. It was $16. $16. I can feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner for $20. But $16 for one item, and then you have to get the buns, and then you got to get the cheese, and then you got to get all the other things. By the time you finish just getting your burger together, your budget is blown. This is a tip. Make your own burgers. You can make them from mushrooms, you can make them from walnuts, you can make them from chickpeas, and it will not blow your budget, and it will also help you with meal prepping because it yields a lot for less of a price. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into what a balanced plate looks like. Now, I consider myself an expert eater because I am a foodie, tried and true, and portions don't know nothing about me, and I didn't know nothing about portions. But when I started really prioritizing my health and prioritizing the things that I'm putting in and on my body, I wanted and I sought balance. And so today we are going to talk about what a balanced plate looks like. And we're also going to give you some tips on how you can cross over and not feel overwhelmed with some tips in order to keep your coins. Now, whenever you are preparing your plate, you look at it and you see, you can visually see, or you can the imaginary lines. Let's just say they're imaginary lines. There's a line that goes down this way. Now there's a line that goes across. But you're going to erase this part of the line. So, the rule of thumb is whenever you are eating, half of your plate needs to be vegetables. That means you can saute them. That means that you can roast them. That means you can steam them. Whatever you're going to do, you need to have half of your plate needs to be vegetables. Because one, that's where you're getting all your nutrients from, your minerals and your fiber, and they have the least calories. So you can eat as many and as much vegetables as you want, and it will not affect you except for giving your body the nutrients and the energy that it needs in order for it to produce good things for you. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to build my plate. We're going to build my plate. So, first things first, I am going to get some marinated kale. Now, I love kale. I love it cooked. I love it steamed. I even like it raw, but this is marinated. I marinated it with avocado oil. I put some sun-dried tomatoes in here. We put a little bit of garlic in here. And we also put in some pumpkin seeds. And that hits, the recommendation. I got healthy fats in here with the pumpkin seeds and the olive oil. And I have my vegetables, which is taking over half of my plate. And this right here will fill me up, but I don't have to worry about, the extra calories. I love kale. Now, a quarter of your plate will be carbs, and that is up to you what you're going to choose, but I always love a good quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes. Those are just my go-to, and those are just my favorite. But I will make a list of other ones that you could choose as a plant-forward person. And that makes up a fourth of your plate. See how it's starting to form. You have your quinoa, you have your half full of vegetables, you have your proteins. And this is a chana sag filled with tomatoes and onions and all the good goodness. But this is, protein. So here you have my well-balanced plate. We have carbs, we have protein, and we have vegetables. And for a little razzle-dazzle, I put pumpkin seeds on the plate because they are considered a healthy fat. Now, this can be mixed up any kind of way, and if you're a person that eats meat, you would just replace the beans or the tofu or the tempeh with your protein of choice. And this well-balanced meal will allow me to be full. It will allow me to have energy, and it's also a thank you to my body for just showing up for me. So this is what a well-balanced plate looks like. And the number one thing about this plate is that it is budget friendly. Now, when you are thinking about budget friendly plant forward living, there are a couple of tips that you should know. Number one, stay away from the faux meats. And if you're going to get the faux meats, make sure that they are on sale. Now, the faux meats were put in, I guess, how can I put it? Faux meats are for people who are wanting to transition, but they need the training wheels. You know how when you were riding a bike, you need training wheels just so you can stay balanced and really learn how to, rock this lifestyle. So faux meats are like a comfort blanket because it will give you a sense of, I'm over here on the green side, but I'm still craving the way certain meats and things taste like. So I just need a little crutch in order for me to get off my addiction of eating animal products. So I'm not saying not to do processed meats, but if you're wanting to really experience how plant forward living really is and how budget friendly it can be, you will stay away from the faux meats because they cost a pretty penny. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie. When I first started crossing over and I'm thinking, oh, let me just throw these faux sausages and these faux chicken burgers and all this other different things. When I got to the counter, I was like, ma'am, I can't do this. what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? So my number one tip is to stay away from processed foods unless they are on sale. Number two, shop frozen, canned, or dry or fresh fruits and vegetables, because those are the most budget-friendly items that you can get. They're always on sale depending if they're seasonal or not. You can get them from your farmer's market. You don't necessarily have to go to Whole Foods. You can go to Trader Joe's. There are open markets depending on where you live, but the farmer's market will always be your best friend, and you can get a whole lot for a little bit. Number three, sales will always be your best friend. When I first became vegan, I looked for sales, and I also shopped bulk because you can get more bang for your buck. And whenever there are sales like 2-for-1s or 2-for-4s or all those different things, that's the time that you stock up on your pantry, because you will never not need a bean. You will never not need tofu. You will never not need canned vegetables, frozen vegetables. And frozen vegetables are your next best thing if you can't get them fresh, because most times when you get frozen vegetables, they are frozen at their peak. So don't be discouraged if all you see is frozen vegetables. Those still make a really good plant-forward meal, and they are really good tools to have in your freezer or your refrigerator, because they have a long shelf life, along with like beans that are in the cans or beans that are in bags, etc., etc., etc. Last but not least, meal prep. Now, I just started getting into meal prep, and it has been a saving grace. And the reason why it has been a saving grace, because I am a comfort eater. And whenever I'm out late at night, if I don't have anything for me to come home to as far as being in my refrigerator, I'm going to spend money that I really don't want to spend. And I'm also going to spend the money on something that might not be as healthy as what it would be with me meal prepping. So, to recap: 1, stay away from the faux vegan meats unless they are on sale. 2, sales are your friend. If you can get a twofer, if you can get a 2-for-4 or 4-for-2 or whatever the case may be, get it, because it will help you in the long run, and you will always be prepared for, a recipe you might want to throw together. Number 3, shop frozen, canned, dry, fresh, seasonal. Those are the most budget-friendly ways that you are going to be able to have balanced meals for your home, and you will always be prepared if you buy like dry and cans, because your pantry will just be stocked. And you every time you go to the grocery store, pick up 2 more. Pick up 2 more. That's what I do with like my seasonings, like my coconut aminos or my sesame oils or my avocado oils. If I go to like Home Goods or Marshall's, and they're always seemingly half the price of what I would buy in the stores like Whole Foods and other grocery stores, I grab 2, because I always need avocado oil or I always need olive oil. That's a rule of thumb, and it will always keep you prepared for meals. Last but not least, meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. It will save you money in the long run. Now, all you have to do in order to meal prep is take a day, take a couple of hours, and cook. And cook different variations of different things, because like with chickpea is like my favorite bean because it is so versatile. I can make tacos, I can make burgers, I can make sandwiches, I can put it in salads. That's how I make my tuna fish salad. It's so versatile, and I know that I will always use chickpeas. So what I do is I make a big batch. It's just me. So I make a big batch of chickpeas. Like for instance, I made a big batch of chana sag the other day. And I still had some left over. So I was able to make a whole nother different meal with it. This chana sag lasted me for, I want to say about 3 to 4 days. So that prevented me from being out whenever I'm coming home late, spending unnecessary money. Meal prep will be a game changer. I'm telling you. So, yeah. So that's B. C is tomorrow. And we still got more alphabet to go. I hope you enjoy this. If you have any comments or concerns, let me know in the chat. I always like talking to people. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.